What's up, everybody? How are you?
Hi.
Okay,
Good, how are you?
good, good, good. Okay, it looks like we got Adam, Kate, and Taylor here. Okay, should be like I think 8 or 9 people RSVP'd, but as always, these are our group calls. Group calls I do record and I will post on YouTube, but I don't want you to hold back. If that's the case, if anything gets discussed where you feel like sharing something that you just don't want to go on the internet, just send me a text on WhatsApp or a direct message and I just won't post it. Purpose of the group calls, as always, I want you guys to engage, meet each other, interact, share stories, offer advice. When you guys RSVP, please submit a couple questions. Again, they can either be business related or personal tactics related, anything that's going to be beneficial for the group. And you don't need to stay the whole time, right? Like if you want to hop in just to chime in, just to listen, that's really fine. I will typically read the questions in the queue in order of how people RSVP. Some people RSVP because they do watch the recordings and they want their questions answered. And if I think a question applies to you, I'll call on you. But if you don't have anything, just say pass or whatever. And that's totally fine. But let's do some introductions. So let's do Adam, Kate, Ronnie, and then Taylor in that order. So Adam, introduce yourself, say where you're from.
Hi, I'm Adam. I'm from Canada.
Nice. Kate, hello.
Hi, I'm Kate and I'm from Kansas.
Nice. Okay. Ronnie, what's up? How are you?
Good, trying to get off mute. Hey guys, Ronnie, I am in the San Francisco area, on the West Coast.
Nice. Ronnie, you have a nice camera.
Do I?
Is that just a Mac?
Yeah, it's my work
It's
computer.
just the lighting is immaculate over there in San Fran right
It's
now.
it's that time of day, I guess. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Taylor, what's up?
Hey, I'm from, my name's Taylor. I'm from Florida. You said you're from San Francisco, Ronnie?
I am.
I'm from the North Bay originally, up near Santa Rosa, like Roanoke Park, Petaluma.
Oh, nice. I went to high school in Florida, so
Oh, nice. We traded spots. Yeah, I ran the stores for Comcast off of Geary and then off of Potrero. I know
oh,
San
nice.
Francisco well. I miss it some days.
Cool, cool.
Okay, sorry.
Hell yeah. No, you're good. Don't be sorry here. All right. So again, right, we'll just go through questions. If you have something to do, chime in. Usually there's great dialogue. The purpose of these calls is not for me to just listen to myself run my mouth, but I'll ask the questions. And then if you got something, please jump in. But hopping into question number one. What are you not seeing clearly right now because you're so consumed by one giant problem? That's a tough one. It's a tough one. Taylor, I'm gonna call on you. What do you have trouble seeing because you're consumed by a much larger problem?
Everything else that's going on.
Mhm.
I've I've gotten into the habit of like when there is a major problem, if it can't be fixed in the next 5 minutes, then I'm going to look at my little T chart you have me do every morning and find a space later in the day or the next day to deal with it. Or get help by like calling somebody like that I can get help to help push it off to, or take over for me. I shouldn't say push it off to, but somebody maybe with some more experience. Like on the listing side, I work with Jessica, and when there's a major issue, she knows how busy my schedule is. She will take over for me because otherwise it'll consume me and I won't get anything else done.
Mm.
Um, but that's really hard to pull yourself out of. It's taken a lot of practice.
Yeah, I see a lot of successful people get so caught up in the minutia of what their employees or team members are doing, something that they maybe used to do younger in their career, that they will focus on solving that problem or doing that problem. Instead, they let a bigger issue pile up in the corner. So I think this is a classic case of stuff that every entrepreneur or business person runs into at some point. Ronnie, you also manage a team. Do you ever feel that you get caught up in the minutia of something smaller and then a bigger problem arises?
Yeah. Yeah, if I allow myself to get in the weeds too much early on and just not put those boundaries up, and also, yeah, sometimes feel where I won't give credit to others who probably are very capable of doing it, and I'm just not pushing back hard enough. So then there's a precedent that gets set, and then it's just like, yeah, will keep happening. Yeah.
Cyclical. How do you prevent that from happening?
Uh, being more conscious of it, and actually worked with my team. I'm actually doing it now in real time where we are reorganizing my team and doing some shifts and really reevaluating everybody's role and lanes and when to come to certain people and when to not. So it's like a domino effect type of exercises right now, which it's painful and time consuming, but it'll be worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, or you just learn the lesson 100 times in a row.
Yeah.
Classic. Anybody else have anything they want to add to that? Not seeing an issue clearly right now because you're consumed by a bigger problem.
I mean, I'll add to that. I think I'm dealing with a lot of immediate, uh, or what I'm considering immediate issues or crises or challenges. So it's hard for me right now to get in front of beyond 6 months to a year and all of that, in terms of just getting your footing and again, being in somewhat of survival mode in terms of life transitions and whatnot. So trying to come out of the clearing with that. But yeah, I think there's a lot of other noise, so it's hard to see past that right now, for now. Yeah.
Yeah. I got laid off one time after my big breakup because I was so consumed by that much larger problem that I could not literally see my day-to-day work with a clear enough perspective. And that's what that question reminds me of. So this isn't just business-based, but personal and professional. I no. Yeah.
Hey Cam,
Anybody-
on that, I just saw a reel or video with Robert. I can't say his last name. He's a shark on Shark Tank.
Mhm.
But he was talking about, or no, oh no, it was Mr. Wonderful, and he was talking about Steve Jobs. And I know Steve Jobs was not a good man to work for. Like he was not a kind man, but he got a lot done, and he made sure his vision came to life. And the reason was he said that most people that are at the top start getting so focused on one little tiny thing, and we've seen it with like Elon Musk recently, upset about something someone said. But he was diligent on making sure he had his 3 core things every single day he had to get done in order to meet his mission. And he would allow like 2 hours of noise like throughout the day, and that's it, like to hear noise. And then he would shut everybody up because he was so mission focused. And that also takes a lot of the emotion out. But when you're leading people or working with people or have people on your team, they're not exactly thinking like CEO or C level and taking the emotion out and seeing the total mission. So I know lately I've been running into it specifically with like cleaners deciding that the clean didn't need to get done today, and then we've got a last minute check in, and then we're all scrambling. So I started taking the emotion out of it and just leaving it like, what did we do? How do we correct this? And here's our hard protocols, non-negotiables, and boundaries, not necessarily in life, but for work, to try and help. Because I've got a couple people I'm trying to teach to be leaders, take over their cleaning teams or take over their sales team so we can keep moving forward. But when I watched that, I was like, that makes sense. Like figure out your 3 per day that are mission critical. And then the rest of it, is just noise.
Yeah, I saw that clip too, and it was interesting. Have you guys read his book, the Steve Jobs book,
Yeah.
where it's like a biography or someone wrote a biography about him? I'd like to read that because he doesn't sound like a great guy to work for. But also, if you haven't watched his speech of Stanford, of like looking back and connecting the dots, he talks about how he was fired from Apple, started Pixar, got picked up, went back to Apple, and how connecting the dots, looking back, it's a very, very profound way of understanding that everything does really happen for a reason. And I'll share that link with you guys in a second. But that was a good question. I like that. And thank you for sharing, Taylor. Let's hop to the next one. A lot of you guys didn't submit questions. Shame on you. But Let's go here. So, what is your biggest fear, and why are you letting it stop you from moving forward? Kate, I'm calling you. What's your biggest fear, and why are you letting it stop you from moving forward?
Success.
Success?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. What's
Today, anyway.
what do you mean by success?
Just being successful at doing what I want to do.
Hmm. What
And then
what scares you about that?
being able to keep up with the demands of being able to do it well.
Yeah. Does that prevent you from ever getting started?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes. How so?
Like I'll have a project that I want to start and the fear of it being successful kind of makes me, I kind of get perfection paralysis, so I don't, and then I'll kind of get
Hmm.
derailed into something else. Well, that's not going to work, and then kind of my mind just kind of goes in circles.
Hmm. I like that. So, fear of success because you feel like you need to be perfect, which prevents you from ever getting started. Let me ask you this. If you were to put something out there for the very first time, do you think it would be perfect if you spent 1, 3, or even 6 months on it?
No.
Okay. So, do you think you can ever truly create something perfect?
No.
Yeah. There's a great book called A Customer is Born Every Single Minute. Customer is born every minute. And I think P.T. Barnum, right, the circus guy, wrote this book 100 years ago. And Dr. Joe Vitale like wrote a modernized version of it that I listened to pretty soon. But it's all about P.T. Barnum's marketing strategy, about how he got the circus going, right? There's a reason why it's still a thing today. And it was largely due to his marketing efforts, 100 plus years ago now. And you don't need to read the book because a customer is born every minute was like his methodology, right? He would be out flyering, trying to get people to go to his thing. He would do that all day. And that was just his mantra. Hey, customer's born every single minute. There's always a new person, a new flyer. Like there's always a new customer, the next customer, the next customer. And it just got him to the fact that yeah, his circus wasn't perfect, but he was relentless. He didn't stop. And he had that mentality that there was always going to be someone out there that wanted his product or his service or wanted to be entertained. That was his belief. I see a lot of people that I'm helping start their businesses or whatever. They have a really difficult time creating, putting stuff out there because they want it to be perfect, right? And there's a reason why I will just sometimes force myself to rip a video when I haven't had my coffee yet, haven't showered, and I just look like hell, but I feel like I have something to say, whether coherently or incoherently, and I set it and forget it, right? Whether it does well or it doesn't, the process of creating is in fact over time another drop in the bucket that is hopefully making things better over time. It's a consistency that you should focus on, not the perfection, right? People are out there, they want your services. There's what, 8 billion people on the planet now? Not everyone's going to be one of your customers, but there's plenty for you, plenty for me, plenty for all of us, right? And you have to have that methodology in business that there's always someone else out there. There's always another customer. There's always another project. There's always another house to sell, all of the things. Also another plane to fix. There's also someone to do an MRI. Did I cover everybody there, right? So I want you guys to just understand that that abundance mindset and that consistency, those two things tied together equal your long-term success because you never lose, you either win or you learn, right? Lastly, I'm talking too much, but fear of success and fear of failure are the two primary drivers for why people do everything that they do or they don't do, right? It's either you have a fear of success or you have a fear of failure, right? There's actually no such thing as failure. It's just you quitting or stopping something. The only time you fail is when you quit. As long as you're still in the fight, that's fine. And I made a video about this, I think last week, but if you're 30 years old, that comes out to 10,950 days, right? So I had someone be like, oh my God, I just feel so defeated and I'm lost and I don't know what to do. And this is the hardest thing I've ever been through. And I was like, you're undefeated. You've stayed alive and stayed in the fight every single day up until now. You're gonna let this one thing break you? Like today, this is it, you're done. And they were like, you're right. So don't let fear of success or fear of failure, which isn't really a thing, stop you from just putting one more drop in the bucket, because you can and you will, right? Fall in love with the process of creating, of just doing, not the results that you think those things will get you, even if it is perfect. Make sense?
Yep.
Took me a long time to learn that one, and I still fight that battle like every fucking day. Okay. Ask me how many times I've redesigned my website or Stronger for Longer. It's way too many times. Right, Taylor?
Yes, your label's got to stop switching because now I got screwed up
They're
on
done.
separating my supplements.
They're done. They're all done. They're
I hope
finished.
so.
I finished yesterday. They're all done. I promise.
By
Okay.
the way, I have 4 bottles of ashwagandha because I didn't realize I had some because I thought it was a different label. So that's okay. I'm stacked for the next couple months.
Oh, on that note, I saw, I think Huberman Lab and somebody else put out something about ashwagandha and how you should cycle off of it every 6 to 8 weeks. I've known about this, but they actually said that it can prevent the production of serotonin later on down the line. And I thought that was pretty interesting. So I will be creating more content from that. I love ashwagandha, and they always flop back and forth, right? 1 year eggs are bad for you, the next they're good for you again. So there's always counter studies to different things, but yeah, I'll share that in the group under the health tab. But that was a good question. Does anybody have anything to add on that in particular? Okay. Next question. What is one thing you waste time on that you wish you didn't when you started? Biggest time wasters. Adam, let's hear from you. What are your biggest time wasters?
My biggest time wasters. Oh God. Let me think about that one.
Okay. We can think about it. I want to ask Amy. Amy, what you got? Your biggest time wasters.
Oh, that's a great question. Well, so many things. I would say my number one thing would be rabbit holes and my side quests that are not not my primary focus. I'm on a side quest currently. Yeah, that's the number one killer for me because I'm like squirrel, rabbit, llama, turtle, and then now I'm going to get propane that I can't find. So if I could just stay linear and keep it simple, life would be a lot easier. But side quests are fun. I find a lot of cool things along the way. So you can't always say no to the side quest, but I've got to really like challenge myself to at least stay linear for at least an hour or two a day to just like get shit done because I can really rock out a lot of stuff when I stay focused. But that's it.
Good. Big time wasters. Ronnie, what do you have for one thing that you waste time on, but you wish you didn't?
I mean, it's more like mental, just in terms of
Mm,
getting and thinking, how do I say it? Thinking about other people's thinking about other people's energy towards me. Like I'm wasting too much time thinking about other people in general, about running over situations in my head, whether it's like with family or a relationship, whatever that might be. So it's like it's too much. I'm learning, but it's too much time being wasted. It's exhausting, obviously. Yeah.
At what point do you catch yourself or not?
Uh, I catch myself. I mean, I will reach a limit where it's like, go do an activity, go out, but it will be, I don't know. It just something clicks in internally and it's like, that's enough. That's enough. Just like, yeah, kind of start reasoning with myself. Yeah.
Mhm. I love that. Let's, Adam, you got something for us? Time waste.
You're gonna kind of go down the same road. Like I get hyper fixated on a bunch of random stupid shit when I'm trying to like go about the course of my day. So mine I was gonna say more or less exactly the same. Like
Mhm.
be trying to do something and then like what would she call it? Side quests. But yeah, I get easily
Yes,
distracted.
the side quests. They're so much fun though.
Oh yeah. uh,
I like that. Kate, what you got? What is one thing that you waste time on that you wish you didn't when you started out?
Same as Ronnie. People.
Hmm. Hmm.
Guys,
What
you
do you-
gotta drop the people and pick up the side quests.
They sound more fun.
It's so much more fun. Yeah, forget the people, do the side quests.
True. That's true. Taylor, what you got?
So when I started in real estate, I was more like upset about how like was doing the same activities as other people and they were posting all this stuff and they were doing all these deals. And then as I got to know these people, it was a bunch of lies. There was a lot of time I was like, gosh, and so I would make myself work harder, do more. I mean, that has paid off 4 years later. Like it's now business is just coming in and I honestly don't market as hard for that. But it was a lot of like stressing that it wasn't good enough because I wasn't doing things right or I didn't have a good enough talk track or whatever my process might have been. And it was also not, I wasted too much time saying yes to things and not checking my actual schedule or setting boundaries. So I ended up taking on too much, and because I had so much to do, I wasn't like, I don't know I can't even think of what it's called, time blocking. So stuff was falling like, I don't know. I guess I wasted too much time giving myself anxiety just because I was everywhere and nowhere all at once. Um, but yeah, I wish I would have. And in real estate, like I have an email box specifically for junk mail now, and I probably get 100 emails a day with different programs or lead services or just crap that they offer you and try to get you to sign up with. Which, hey, some of those guys are really good at their marketing because they conned me a couple of times. But it was one of those like trying to always figure out what the best way was when it's honestly just good old fashioned go talk to people, hand out your business cards, shake hands, and move on with your day. So I wish I wouldn't have wasted time on all these fancy like AI systems and automations and stuff when I was just trying to build a sphere and build my foundation.
Hmm. That's a good one. My my mind went to like the ruminating thoughts. So I'm with you on that one, Ronnie. When I read this question, I was like, what do I mentally waste a lot of time on? And it's just anything that's outside of my control. And it's so hard, right? You have 80,000 thoughts a day, 90% happen in the subconscious, and 90% of all of your thoughts are inherently negative or self-defeating or self-limiting because your brain's just trying to keep itself alive and maintain the status quo. And a lot of those thoughts will inevitably bring fear and anxiety or like worry, concern, and that will force us to attempt to control things that are ultimately outside of our control. So that tells me that I spend a lot of time spinning my wheels about what to do or what not to do or how to control a situation. And I spend a lot of time trying to just be like, go over there, go away, just stop. And then I have to spend time transmuting that energy or those thoughts into actions, right? Running multiple businesses or dogs or another house project. Right now, I'm fixing the fence. And I spend a lot of time on these quote unquote side quests because if I didn't, like, I would just have too many ruminating thoughts that would crowd the door. So that mental thing is really tough. And action is the thing that disables anxiety anytime you act towards a certain thing or you transmute that energy. But that is a tough one. That's a great question, but that's a tough one at the same
Yeah,
time.
and yeah, I think I said it like in our last session. It was that's why I keep as busy as possible just to keep moving. So then you're not sitting there with thoughts. I mean, Sunday nights obviously are the worst, just in general, when it's Sunday scaries and all that. So it's like combating that with having friends over, just kind of like, yeah, there's this. So I'm constantly, yeah, just trying to keep it moving or yeah, trying to plan a trip or something, just yeah, to keep, yeah, keep it moving.
My mother told me a quote when I was younger, and she said, "Wherever you go, there you are." And right, she watched me go to college in New Hampshire and then move to San Diego and then move from San Diego to Florence. I was there for 2 years, and then I moved back to Boston. Then I was in Colorado, and then Portland, and then, dude, I've just been all over. And my mother has largely just stayed in New Hampshire. And I think about that quote a lot because wherever you go, there you are. You can stay busy, but even when you go to sleep and you sit there, and even if you're dead tired, your thoughts are just like this, that, right? This concern, and you're just like, trust me, I had that night. I woke up wide awake at 3 a.m. and I was like, why? Why? Right? So whatever, got up, did a couple hours worth of work, and here we are, 18 plus hours later. So I feel you. Okay, hang in there. Ask me why I started this business. Should give you a good answer right there. Good question here. So if you had unlimited funds, what would you do with your business what would you do with your business to propel you forward? Kate, unlimited funds, what would you do?
It's hard for me to even think about right now. I would hire people to help me be more efficient. That would be the first thing I would do.
Yeah. Hire people to do what?
To do all the stuff that I don't want to do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. Taylor, unlimited funds. What are you doing with your business?
Sorry, I had you on mute. So I would honestly pay someone to help me organize my operations a little bit faster. I just actually paid for somebody to help us with our HubSpot to streamline it and set up my automations because I will get in the weeds with them and I don't focus on it. Like I'll spend 9 hours on one automation to try and perfect it. So setting up somebody in for that, and also I would dump it into my CRM system and into I would pour money into the systems and also better marketing, like higher end photos, higher end videography. And because I can handle the rest of the cold calling or the talking or and all that, and that's where I'm better at than instead of dealing with the operations, even on the like vacation rental business. Yeah, being able to hand those activities off because I don't love them. So it takes me a lot longer to get them done.
Okay. I like that. Ronnie, unlimited funds, right? I know in the agency world it's different, but if you had funds to facilitate your team or your business, what would you do? What would you spend it on?
Probably more, so we're fully remote, so it'd be more time together in real life, on a regular basis and getting together to like actually be in a room and like get on a whiteboard and like it used to be and and do some fun stuff together. But yeah, I think something like that.
Good. I like that. Amy, if you had unlimited funds up there in Alaska, what would you do with your business?
I think you already know the answer to this. I would probably implode healthcare from the inside out and rebuild it from scratch. So we would focus on mental health for our caregivers so we could actually take care of our patients without the mental health constraints on our providers. So we're not crumbling from the inside out and trying to take care of people as we go. So, but that's my pie in the sky. It's a big ask. But if I had all the money in the world, that's what I would do.
Like it. I like these things. Adam, if you had unlimited funds with your team in your company, what would you spend it on? What would you do? What would you do for your team?
My people, I would give everybody massive raises and try to hire as many people as possible to lighten the work for everybody so that everybody's happy, they get paid well, and then everybody that's happy and paid well would be more productive, and you'd probably end up getting more done, and hopefully the business and everything would start taking care of itself.
It's awesome. I love that. Those are good questions. I think I would hire a chef and a full-time cleaner because my shepherds just love to shed hair all over my house. Definitely.
Okay, you You win for keep it simple on that one.
I mean, I just think about food and my dogs primarily. Those are the ruminating thoughts that I like. Maybe an Asian lady to just step on my back and give me feet rubs at the end of the day or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. An acupuncturist, something like that.
You should see the look on my 10-year-old's face when you said that.
I've never gotten a massage. Actually, has anyone gotten a deep tissue massage here?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
They're the most painful things in the world, right? So, funny story, when I was back in Boston competing in CrossFit, working in advertising, I started going to this massage therapist and I went like every 2 weeks. But the guy's name was Terrell Blackman, and he was the biggest black guy on the planet that rented out a tiny office in Back Bay. And I would show up, and this man had me screaming for an hour and a half. Like it sounded horrible to anybody outside of that. But ever since then, I've never gotten a massage because I'm pretty sure that was like a traumatic event in my life. But who's gotten one that's memorable and wants to share a story?
Memorable, like positive?
Yeah, or bad from a massage, deep tissue massage.
Deep tissue? I don't know. I switched to doing Swedish. Just deep tissue ones, I have a high pain tolerance, but not with those things. I don't know what they do. They're like reaching into your soul and pulling everything out. And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't walk for like a couple days, but I have never gone back since. I didn't even know that there was good kinds of massages after that. That was my only experience. I was like, people get nice massages. I didn't know that was a thing. So,
I've had some really good ones. After I got in a head-on collision a couple years ago and never realized just how bad a muscle spasm would debilitate you. And had a couple of really good deep tissue massages after that because I got to where I couldn't get out of bed after that car accident. And yeah, they're very, very nice.
what does anybody know what the purpose of a deep tissue massage is? Is it just releasing your fascia, lactic acid?
No, because you don't have to release your fascia through that. Because actually, I had a back injury when I was 17, and every once in a while, when there's really high stress, my sciatic nerve on my right side will start to flare up, but then it locks up my whole lower back. And there's a physical therapist locally who will come to your house and treat you. Like I couldn't walk without a cane. I shouldn't laugh. I'm sure there's people that have canes, but I'm only 40 and I was literally hunched over walking with a cane and my 17-year-old was not helping. But she was like touching like the fascia on my head to release my back and then in my hands to release my. So I don't think deep tissue's for that. I don't know. Maybe it's just a selling point. Because you think, oh, the deeper it is, the better it's going to be. I have no clue. I'm not a masseuse. I just have
So
gone to
the deep tissue is more so for like getting into the muscles themselves. So if you think about like how the muscles themselves work, when they get knotted up, they get into kind of like when our brain short circuits. So like when we get into these negative feedback loops in our brains and they get short circuited, our muscles can do the same thing. And so you have to interrupt that cycle that when they get knotted up. And so those deep tissue massages will literally help. Oh, there's a whole science behind it. You'll have to look it up, Cam, and then you can explain it to us better. But that interrupts that cycle of that knot, and it helps get the blood flow back to the muscle, to that specific area. Because once it gets knotted up, it stops getting blood flow to it, and then it's basically almost like it's ischemic. And so that's why you get a lot of pain there. There's a whole myriad of stuff with. Oh, Kim, what is it called when the ratcheting of the cells and they do the thing and it's the whole blah blah blah. I can't remember what it's called, but my brain never remembered you know what I'm talking about?
Apoptosis?
Is that what it is? I don't know. My brain always forgot that part, but you know what I'm talking about, the ratcheting of the cell.
I don't know.
Anyways,
I failed out of
look it up.
medical school, so who
No,
knows?
stop saying that. But when it has that problem and they do the deep tissue massage, it helps strip that out of there. But there's also lymphatic massages that help get the extra fluid out of your body. There's a whole bunch of different types
Yeah.
that you can do, but the fascia, when it comes to fascia, you actually can't really do squat with the fascia because it's like trying to massage a tire. So I don't know, physical therapy is a whole nother world, but being an MRI, like I can tell you, you can manipulate certain parts of the body and some parts you can't do a whole lot with. So anyways, there's my 2 cents.
No, you're right, Amy. No, I had like major arm shoulder pain, and so I was going for deep tissue massage at the same place, and they'll do acupuncture too. So like it's like 15-minute deep tissue and then acupuncture for which I had never done before for half an hour, and it's also with like those electrodes, like so there'll be vibration in the acupuncture needle in those
Right, right.
so you're just like laying on the table. Yeah, you can't do a thing. But yeah, so I did that for like a 6-week kind of 6-week sessions, but it worked. It worked.
Yeah, you can fix some stuff if it is a muscle that's knotted up, but if it is torn, there's not a whole lot you can do about it, which is the difference between a good PT and a bad PT. Because a bad PT will be like, yeah, let's just rip through this and see what we can do. And it's like, actually, that's torn. Please don't touch the patient anymore. So
Ronnie, what's the purpose of acupuncture? Is it releasing nerve endings? Like,
Yeah, I mean it's going right to I'm not gonna explain it well. It's going depending on the area you're looking for. So I think there's multiple benefits. So in my case, yeah, it was just a very targeted for targeted areas to release uh basically it was those electrodes was giving my muscles like spasms to again loosen it up on its own. Yeah, it just depends. I don't know. I was super like it felt like I did get a full massage afterwards, even the time when I wasn't getting deep massage with the acupuncture session. Like there's like the points that it's hitting from your feet to your ears. It's just I don't know. Yeah, you feel very relaxed afterwards.
mm,
And
yeah.
then yeah, and any massage that had like deep tissue, like yeah, that's why they say drink tons of water afterwards. So it's like releasing, I don't know how they say it, but specific toxins, etc. That are happening. So
One of my, I'm pulling up this PDF so I can find it. And Kate, you may actually have read this book, but it's called Anatomy of the Spirit. Has anyone read Anatomy of the Spirit?
yes,
Yeah,
you have all of us read it.
yeah, that and Advanced Energy Anatomy really tuned me into like medical intuition and just spiritual anatomy because Carolyn Myss talks about the body and she talks about a lot of this, but how different emotions are tied to different chakras and different parts of the body. Um, yeah, I'm trying to find it. So like and Kate, correct me if I'm wrong. But there's 7 chakras. Your 6th chakra is like, or your 7th one, which is up here, is your crown, is higher love and transcendence. Then it goes to mind and clarity. Then your 5th is will. Your 4th is love. Your 3rd is self. Your 2nd is power. And your first one, right, is your tribe. And what Carolyn Myss does in these books is she relates different physical ailments to traumatic events that we suffer in lives, broken relationships, right, divorces, everything. And this book blew me away because some of the ailments or injuries that I've had relate to more or less the emotional tribulations that I've gone through in my life, which is leading me into more things like it's a very roundabout way to get back into saying that I need a massage or I want to get more into like acupuncture and stuff. But sounds like you guys are all spun up on proper self-care. That's something I'm still learning. Oh, great book. I will share this PDF with you guys once I find what I'm looking for. But what other self-care things do you guys do on a regular basis?
I get my
Cupping.
lashes done.
Lashes?
Yeah, so they have to like tape under your eye. Like you have to they tape your eye closed basically, and I have to lay still for a full hour and a half, and not have my phone near me because I will twitch every time I hear it vibrate. So having to be completely disconnected and lay there and not, she doesn't even let me put my headset on anymore because I'll like listen to the book and move. So that is actually really, it's usually like Wednesday afternoons every other week, but I get them done because then I can run outside the house without makeup on and I don't have to worry about anything. But it also is a way of like disconnecting. And I mean, I get out and then I get a little anxiety when I have like 50 missed phone calls, but It's a way to like, I don't know, quiet myself.
That's awesome. What else you guys got for healthcare? Who has a good self-care routine?
Cupping.
What do you do?
Cupping? It's
Cupping.
kind of, yeah, it's kind of like massage.
Yeah. How often?
I go every 3 to 4 weeks. If I wait too long, like I can feel it.
Wow. What are the
It
benefits?
lifts. It's improved circulation, and it just kind of they pinpoint kind of the pressure, and it's just there for a while, and it hurts. So probably similar to deep tissue, and then the blood comes all the way up, and then you have like red spots on your back. But you sleep like a baby for like 2 or 3 days after you get that done.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
What do you feel when you don't go cupping?
Oh, my mood, like it definitely impacts me. Like I've learned that about myself.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's phenomenal. Okay. I love it. I gotta check that out. What does that usually cost?
I found a deal guy, so I pay $65 for like a 90-minute cupping massage combo. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know what the the retail cost is.
that sound, yeah, you do that in Boston, I'm sure it's like 300 bucks. Ronnie, have you ever done cupping?
No, and I have no interest. Like, I want to stay away with it. I see the marks like with people like walking around. I'm like, I can't. I'm like, I don't think I could do it. I would probably do it once.
The
Take-
first time you do it, you have the big spots, but if you do it on a regular
Oh,
basis, they
really?
they
Oh.
don't last very long. Yeah, because like the more spots you have, the less circulation you have, or your circulation isn't as good. So the more you do it, the less bruising.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
Interesting. Yeah, you can try it once. Try anything once. That's cool. I gotta check that out. What about, does anyone go to see a chiropractor?
Used to. Yeah.
What is that primarily for? What are the benefits of something like that?
I was using it for help with posture and yeah, like tension, neck tension. I don't know. I was a little apprehensive in terms of what I was hearing. I've heard like nightmare stories of either you get injured or you get addicted to it, and so you could always keep going. So you'll never stop. So yeah, it was mostly just posture and just feeling tension in my back to just wanting to be cracked. Yeah, basically.
Dang. Interesting. Do they give you like a read on your body or tell you different things or
Yeah, this one guy went like this one I went to like we took photos prior, like side photos, front photos of my stance, and I was like lopsided and at one point and all that. But yeah, like one leg was an inch shorter than the other, and then you like adjusted and pulled it and all that. Yeah. I felt I liked it. Yeah, I just found myself just continuously going, so I just took a break.
Yeah,
good?
the thing with chiropractors is like once your spine's out of whack, you kind of are at the mercy of the chiropractor because your body holds memory to where your spine is aligned to. So if your spine is out of whack, you have to really get that stuff back in alignment, and then you have to keep going back to keep getting your
Mm.
stuff back lined up because your muscles will pull it back and pull it back and pull it back until you get that muscle memory straightened back out. I've seen it with misalignment, so you can line it back up, and that works in certain circumstances. And so you have to marry the two. You can have a chiropractor that is fantastic because I have gone to the chiropractor with the kids. My first pregnancy was rough. I couldn't hardly walk. When I had Liam, and so my pelvis was misaligned, and I fell with him and hurt my SI joints, and it was so bad. And so she would yank on my leg and get my pelvis realigned. And then the last 3 weeks of my pregnancy, when he dropped, it stabilized my pelvis, and I could have gone out dancing my last month of pregnancy. Of course, nobody would take me, but it was great. But on the flip side of that, as an MRI tech, I've seen some discs that have been blown out and they've been like, I went to the chiropractor and I'm like, please, please, for the love of God, do not go to the chiropractor ever again. Please go straight to the neurosurgeon, because if you sneeze wrong, you're going to be paralyzed. And I've told patients this, like, I've given them a disc and said, go straight to the neurosurgeon, don't go anywhere else, because you're going to get paralyzed if someone touches you wrong. So you have to kind of really listen to your body when it comes to self-care and chiropractic care, and know that you can do some preventative maintenance, but when it comes to that point where you need to do surgery, you really need to step in and do some heavy hitting stuff. So that's kind of with all things in life though. So take it with a grain of salt.
I like it. Okay, so I got a question for you guys. Has anyone ever been to a rage room? Tell me
That's
about
kind
that.
of my life, but
Yeah, that's 9 out of 10 of your side quests. Kate, I saw you shaking your head. Tell me about your rage room experience.
Yeah, it was really fun and it actually went out of business where I live and I was kind of sad. But yeah, you go in there and you just get to break shit. And I actually I do astrology, so my kid has to learn fire. So I've set up like a kid appropriate rage room in our garage with a pool noodle. So I send her out there when she has to deal with it.
Was going to the rage room helpful for you?
Yes.
Yeah. How so? How long do you spend in there? What kind of stuff do you break?
It's like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But honestly, like after you break stuff for, I don't know, even 5 minutes, you're like, wow, you're kind of like stunned that you've done all that damage. So there's like a little bit of disassociation. You break TVs, lamps, glass stuff. They give you a sledgehammer. It's fun.
Can you bring your own stuff, or is it just stuff that they just acquire?
I think the place that we had, like, it was packages. So like you could buy like big screens, or if you wanted to smash a guitar, that was extra.
Oh,
There was things like that, yeah. Um, I don't know. Maybe.
was it worth it?
Uh yeah. I mean, I'd do it again.
Yeah, cool. I think that's a cool concept. You know how everywhere they're opening up just like another axe throwing bar and like the next town block, at least over here they are. But I've seen more and more of those. I'm like, huh, that's pretty interesting. Pretty cool business model.
There was a team at my company. I wasn't able to go. I wanted to go to the rage room. It was folks who lived in New York, and they went to some place in Queens, and it was like a shit show. It was funny. I saw the photos, but they loved it and they want to do it again. So just like a team thing they want to do a couple times a year,
There's got to be one in San Fran, right? There's got to be multiple of them in San Fran.
probably. But we're like, can only imagine what the room they're gonna like. It'll be very like, I don't know, stereotypical San Francisco stuff or West Coast stuff. Be funny.
Yeah. Yeah,
It wouldn't be a bat. It'd be like a soft kind of bat. It'd be like
like a small little like mini, yeah.
you would be surprised how much rage those people would carry around inside of them. Because I was in Dutch Harbor and there was a very, very large man with he was a very eccentric man, and he was very large, and you could tell, like, just don't mess with that man. And I told the fishermen, because there was a couple of them that they wanted to hassle him, and I was like, listen guys, any man that is that large and Russian and eccentric, just don't, like, nope, leave him alone. So you'd be surprised, there might be some people in San Fran that need to get some rage out.
oh no, there's tons. Me included.
Cool. Adam, do you guys have that up there in Canada? Do you guys have rage rooms? Have you ever been to one?
I have not been to them, but there are some. Yeah, I've got a lot of friends who have gone, and it sounds awesome, and I really want to do it. I just have not done that yet.
Yeah. I have not been to one, but I have been to those like what are they called? Maze rooms. And where they like keep you in one room and you have to like solve how to get out of that room.
Like
And
the escape room.
yeah, no, like these escape room things. I remember I went twice, but both times I was like, that turned into my rage room. Like, you want me to solve a puzzle? I just want to get the fuck out of here, and I will knock down all of these walls. That was the feeling that I got. I don't like being trapped in rooms, knowing that I can't really get out, and I have 45 minutes to figure out how to get out. I don't like that at all.
No.
Those almost turned into rage rooms, so pretty fun.
That would be that'd be a panic room for me. That's not a rage room. That's like a panic room.
Yeah, I mean, any room is a panic room if you just give it a fucking minute. But like, for me, that's yeah. I don't like small spaces. Okay.
We need to work on that.
Yeah. I was gonna tell you a story from SEER school, but if I put this on YouTube, then I could get in trouble because they do those kinds of things in certain schools in the military, that are very much not fun. But okay, so for this, I will open it up if anyone has any burning questions or a question for the group that they would like to pose. Now is your time. You can either post it in the chat, send it to me, or just go ahead and ask it for you guys. Taylor, you got one more. I know you do.
Another question? I always have questions. I got a list of them.
Yeah, drop the group of questions.
Hold on, let me find my list on my notes. I try to come prepared.
You submitted a bunch of stuff to 3 Questions Podcast, but
Usually I don't give you anything. I usually fill it up with some smart ass comments. I was trying to actually be productive last time and give you something to help.
a lot of you guys will do that or write some very sarcastic shit, and I'm like, okay.
Oh, I've been shit posting Cam all week. Sorry, Cam.
Yeah, I'm still catching up, Amy. I will sit through it when I can.
Good luck. It's all right. There's a bunch of fun pictures in there too that Ava made you.
Perfect. I will take a peek.
So I guess the last question I had that didn't submit was, how do you personally avoid burnout and stay? It says stay motivated, but I've changed it to stay consistent because I'm learning the difference between consistency and motivation, because motivation wanes and fades and comes and goes. But if you're consistent, it's the same thing all the time. So I guess just avoiding burnout, because I have a tendency to do that.
Yeah, that's a good question for the group. Ronnie, what you got? Avoiding burnout.
Burnout. No, I'm like victim of this. So yeah, I mean, when I started at the company I'm at now, I just was nonstop because I didn't have like a lot of the support with a proper team that I needed. So it was just 24/7. So I was not taking vacation. I was saying yes to everything. There was no prioritization. Um, I'm better now with it. I think just looking at your day-to-day basis, I will if I feel getting overwhelmed or frustrated, or I'm on a call in a meeting where if I wanted to speak I take a beat, I have to change my environment. So I will get up away from my desk. I will go outside. I will even work somewhere different. But yeah, more conscious of blocking off time on my calendar too, to just save space for me. Just like an hour at midday for, what I would call lunch or whatever that might be. So yeah, building those parameters around some of that to help a bit. Yeah.
Good. I love that. That's good stuff. Adam, how do you avoid burnout?
For me, learning to say no. Nowadays, I don't answer any work emails except when I'm at work. Before, I used to spend a lot of time on my personal time answering work emails, doing this, finding stuff to help other guys. I don't do that anymore. I only work when I'm at work. I've like completely kind of isolated like my personal life and my work life. Well, I'm in the process of doing it. And another one is taking time every day just to do something for me, because if not, I'm going to burn out again, and I don't want to be in that place.
Love that. Kate, how do you avoid burnout?
I have learned the hard way that I have to listen to my body, because it will tell me, like, I'll start to feel sick when I'm approaching burnout of something. So just taking like time every day to like listen to it. Because I'll push so hard, I'll end up getting sick. So that's what I do.
Love that. Love that. Amy, how do you avoid burnout?
I am definitely still working on that, and I think I will echo what everybody is saying, and really trying to be better about setting parameters when it comes to work and personal, and not be on my phone all night answering emails, sending emails, and then doing my side quest projects and being like, all right, we're going to start a foundation tonight, and then I'm going to start this book, and then I wrote this book, and then now I've got another book I'm going to write. And it's like, holy shit, girl, stop. But with all the creativity, it's hard to stop it when it's flowing. So like when you get in that flow state, it's like, wow, let's ride this rainbow, because you don't know when it's going to shut off. But I will say, like, when you feel the burnout coming and you know you're going to crash out, like sometimes the crash out can be fun. So just ride the waves of the crash out too, and just let yourself burn out and just be a marshmallow. So if you need to be a marshmallow, just vegetate for a few days and eat the ice cream for dinner. And, I think Cam might approve that for a little bit, and then get back up the next day and then go again. You
100.
just got to ride it and see where it takes you. Just don't marinate in the burnout for very long, and then go again.
I completely agree. Taylor, how do you avoid your own burnout?
Oh, I don't avoid it. I run right into it. No, that's something that I've been working on and learning. I'll get sick, and I won't just get sick, like I'll be hospitalized sick and still on my phone trying to get everything done. Um, and earlier you had asked something, I don't know, I put it in the chat GBT. What are we most afraid to fail at? And it's from the fear of scaling and being successful, or failure from becoming successful, like having too hard of a crash once you hit the top. And that's why I make myself so busy and make sure everything's getting done. But lately it's been having grace and patience with myself and my team, and knowing they're going to mess up, but that's the only way they're going to learn. And I can't run in to save them. So this week we've had a few hiccups, and I'm doing my best to not let that Italian temper come out and just say, like, WTF, you have one job. What's wrong with you? That's why I'm very thankful I'm not working in California anymore. I probably would have been fired a million times if I talk like I do now. But it is taking the time. And even I've now told, I like coaching down as well as coaching up, and I'm trying to teach my team members that too. Like, you need to stop me if I'm overstepping, and do it in a polite way so I don't get hurl something back at you. But I had one of the girls say, I'm supposed to watch all the guest messages and do all the owner consults, right? I'm like, yeah. She's like, then why am I not doing it? Why are you doing it? I'm like, I don't know. I was like, oh, true. So it's really giving myself time back and trusting that I did put the right people in the right place. I've trained them the right way, and they know when to ring that bell or wave the flag saying help. So I think it's just coming down to, I've got to trust myself that I do know what I'm doing, and not be so scared.
Yeah, trusting that process. Sorry, the dogs are being very needy because it's lightning and thundering outside, and they are very, very scared of those things. Yeah, I don't avoid burnout. I burn out pretty frequently, often, but it's typically only for like short periods. And I just allow myself to, get thrown off the cliff onto the rocks. And most of the time, like, somebody had a camera in my house. It looks like me just laying on my bedroom floor, just like face down planking for like 5 to 10 minutes and just not letting my body move at all. Right. And then inevitably I'm like, okay, right. I will give myself that time. I don't even try to avoid burnout, because with a lot of things I'm doing, I'm going to burn out. And it's in part of my North Node. I've been doing readings for everybody. Kate, you know this stuff, but like, my North Node talks about burnout a lot and how I just shouldn't fight that. And once I read that, I just was like, I'm just gonna let it happen because it's a natural reset for me. Like I allow myself to crash and then I allow myself to get a full cup again by continuing momentum. So I don't necessarily think burnout is a bad thing if you know how to use it that works best for you. But depending on what burnout looks like for you, how can you use that to maximum effectiveness? Are you using that to relax? Are you using that to just shut everything down, to go to bed early? I think that people think about burnout as just a negative thing, and I think that there are positive ways that I'm trying to discover how to use that more effectively. Does that make sense? Anybody disagree?
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, I will find a better, more eloquent way to construct that in our one-on-ones and stuff, but we'll talk about it. It's 9 o'clock. Thank you all for joining. If you shared anything or somebody said anything that you just wouldn't like to go up on the internet, please let me know. Just shoot me a text. I'll just post it tomorrow. Or if you just don't want your name to go on there, I just won't post it. So send me a message on WhatsApp if that's the case. Other than that, thank you guys for showing up and interacting and engaging with each other. Please continue to post on the Discord and help each other out, right? If you see someone struggling or someone is asking a vulnerable question, show up, right? Respond, send them a message, offer to connect, because that's what we're here for. Okay. All right, guys, you're all on mute. So I'll
Thanks,
Okay.
Russell. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye,
see
guys.
you later.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
Thank
Okay.
you.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.